All right, we're going to go ahead and continue on with number 28. So we're all caught up right now. This one just came out yesterday, and so let's go. um, yeah, a lot of action and basically just a lot of good action in this one right here. So let's pick up where we left off. Basically, what happens after the someone lost their head. Basically this is all with their Tryon body, so he's not dead in real life. So the Tryon is basically done. His damage limit was exceeded, so he's done, and he's flying off back to headquarters. So basically, it's called a bailout. So it's a way to save your life if you once the damage limit is exceeded. If you're taking more than that, you can be killed, but so with the bailout, you're able to save your life. And that's a very handy feature to have when you think about it. Think about the battles that they have over in the neighbor world. It's definitely needed because they have some powerful people over there. Um, from at least a few chapters ago, the one we seen back when Yuma was telling his backstory and when he fought that Tryon soldier in man. Okay, so let's go ahead and and what Cordero he's like, hey, Narasaka, he he lopped his head clean off. I can't believe it. And what we have here is that Cordero is the sniper. That's the one who I talked about last chapter, taking those shots at Jen, but he just did not hit. And yeah, that's a pretty interesting sight to see, to be honest. But oh man, I don't know. I find it very funny. Um, it's like, well, if you're going for a one-shot kill, it's obvious to aim for the head or chest, but it's not like Jen to do that. And basically, and why Jen has done that. Like I said, he's trying to get them to retreat by running out of Tryon if necessary. But if he has to force them to do so, that's what he's gonna do. And what we see here is that, remember that what we talked about with the a couple chapters ago in 26 with the explanations of the trigger. We have Jen here with the scorpion. We have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 extending outside of the blade. You have the blade itself extending straight out, but you have 8, like, think of it like tails. I guess if you follow Naruto, think about like the 9 tails. Um, Kurama's. Sorry, I don't mean to spoil it for anybody, but Kurama's tails. Just think of it as a sort of like 8 tails on it, but they're like made out of. It's basically Tryon, which is like energy. So Jen is like, I need all of you to lose or go home, and that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So he's done. And what we have here is that we have a couple more of the 18 a couple more of the people from headquarters 18, and it's like, you the guard, prepare for stealth combat. And it's like, I won't be able to coordinate as well with the snipers. He's like, just do it. And so Jen goes on, and he attacks all 3 at once. And what it does is, or if you look on the ground, it makes an X pattern. Or maybe if it continues on, it'll. I don't know if it'll like make a diamond pattern, but from the way it is, it's an X pattern with, you see, and Key is blocking one, and the other one is blocking the other one as well. And but what you see here is that he did not block it as well as Key, because obviously he's not as strong as Key, so he got damaged. He took some damage on. And what their stealth mode does basically is it makes them invisible. So they're basically transparent. They're invisible. And what Jen's noted is that it's a chameleon trigger. So just and think about how useful that is as well in battle. And so Jin or Ken is excuse me, not Ken, but Key is continue to engage in battle with Jin, and and Key asks the question, who's going to lose and go home? And Jin is like, hopefully all of you. And it's like, yeah, you saw that coming. He's like, yeah, that's Jin's black trigger. Fujin Wind Blade. Okay, so you heard the word Fujin in the past couple chapters, and well, what is the Fujin? That's what the Fujin is. That's what it does. It's the wind blade, and it's explained by he transmits the slash of the blade through objects to strike anywhere he can see. So, given the fact that they just went stealth mode so that they're invisible, Jin can't see them now. Alright, so keep that in mind for a little later on. And they're like, can you see the ribbons of light from his blade? It's like, that's how many he has left. He has 8 right now. He'll have to reload when it drops to 0. Don't miss that opportunity. So basically, what they're doing is, and what he's letting them know that for is that once Jin, once those blades go down to 0 and he has to reload them, that's when they're going to attack in that very moment. So, and he's making sure he's like, hey, be ready. So they're like, snipers, give Tachikawa cover fire. We won't complain if you hit us. So, you have the two, Narasaka and Kodora. They're heading out. They're the 2 snipers. And also to noting that, Kodora is, like I say, that's the one who shot at Jin in the last one. But Narasaka is not the other sniper who refused to shoot. Basically, that's not him. That's another sniper. So he's still out of the picture for right now. And what you have here, they're in the sky. They're doing aerial combat, messing up some light poles. And what Keys goes on to state is that the Fujin's big threat is to those remote attacks. Okay, it's those remote attacks. In close combat, it's the same as any other blade. And Jin's like, you sure done your homework, Tachikawa. And obviously, Jin is smiling the whole time. And what you have here is Jin is cornered basically inside a little building. So he has no way to back out the exit. He has no way to get out the sides. So think of it like a corner store that you would just go in and you open up it has those long sliding, like a garage door that slides down. So basically, he has nowhere to go now. He's cornered. Okay, and what they've noticed, like he's cornered. In a simple match of sword skills, Tachikawa is superior. This is some of the other 18s from the headquarters they're noting. And it's like, well, there's no escape for you now, Black Trigger. And Key has a smile on his face, and so they're definitely, they're getting ready to set up their final attack once everything drops to 0. And what Jin does an attack in, what Keys noted that went from the walls to the ceiling. And Jin is like, you're the one with no escape. And so in the building, you see it looks like a beam of light. It goes from the ground, from like his foot. So think of it as a shadow with light. If that made any sense at all. So basically, the light goes from the floor. It goes up the wall onto the ceiling, and it comes back down from the top, and it cuts Key on his left shoulder. So that was a pretty interesting attack. And what Jin goes on to state is that you got 2 bent out of shape. That's just not like you, Tachikawa. And it's not one attack. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5? I think 5 attacks what we have here. And it's from the back, the sides, both his shoulders. But yeah, he got attacked multiple times. And they're like Tachikawa's down. We see here is that 2 people, the stealth people, there behind Jin, directly behind him, and one is directly in front of him. Okay, and Jin dodges, and let's see, what we have here is that one of them says Kazama, he's down to 0. Okay, and what he have here is that what Kazama did is that he used his attack. What he did, and this is a very interesting attack as well, just like the one Jin did, similar. He took a blade from his foot through the ground, and it went under the ground into Jin's foot. So from the bottom of his shoe, the attack went underground in a circular motion and came up and through Jin's through Jin's foot, and it's basically, yeah, that looks like it hurts very much if it was a real body. So he has Jin, so Jin isn't going to move, and Kazama's like Tachikawa now, so he's telling him to go ahead with the attack. And you see Key's getting ready to attack. He's getting ready to attack, and they're like, well, he's going to cut through Kazama, and they're like, got him. But basically he's talking about Key because, well, like I said, Key's getting ready, and like I said, Kazama has him pinned from the blade from his foot, and he's also has him. Jin blade is locked. He's blocking his blade against Kazama's attack, and it's like, wait, hold on, wait a minute, everybody, wait a minute. Jin's Fujin was down to 8 blades. He used 6 for Tachikawa and 1 for Utogawa. Okay, and if I'm remembering right, Utogawa is the other one who's with Kazama. And what you see here is that, and like, well, that leaves one more. Where did the last one? And you see right there is that. Oh man, that was pretty nasty. Key just got his arm cut off. His arm is cut off. It's cut off below the elbow and above. So yeah, his left. Well, excuse me, it's not his left. It's his right. But from what I'm looking at, it looks, so it's actually his right arm, and and what they have an illustration here is that he foresaw our moves and set a trap up in the garage walls. And Jen's like, you guys are tough. I could see you beating a black trigger. But the Fujin and my side effect work too well together. Sorry. And that's the end of the chapter right there. And Jin, he has this smile on his face. And in the illustration, what it shows is that in the garage walls, it's an enclosed space. He went there purposely, trapped himself purposely, so that he can. It basically obviously he had to know that they had a plan. You just don't go after somebody like Jin, well, period, basically, but especially of his caliber without having a plan. He didn't know what plan, but he had a plan of his own, and he used his plan, and basically what it did, let them think that their plan went ahead and worked. Okay, you executed your plan, you got me, but basically, no, I got you with my plan. Yeah, so Key's minus an arm right now. So that's like what, 6 times he got attacked, 6 or 7 times he got attacked by Jin, and pretty good strategies here. Yeah, these guys are definitely good. I'm not, you know what? I don't believe they can beat Yuma, especially now that he's understanding how the triggers work, and and so basically he has the basis now. So even maybe they be able to beat another black trigger, but I just don't see them being able to capture Yuma's if he did have his black trigger. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed this. We're all caught up. Very exciting. Like again, I try to put some pictures in here and there. So if you see it, it'll be in the video. And